Hi there, my name is Nadia Stupinski and this is Zenful Mama, my channel about mindful parenting. Today I'm going to talk to you about 4 prerequisites that you need in order to help your kids grow and develop creatively. Different types of creative expressions and creating in general helps our kids develop their creative thinking and their problem-solving skills. So knowing that, many of parents I know have been trying to focus on different arts and crafts and different creative projects that they do with their kids. These days, there are tons of online and offline resources which will tell you what kind of projects you should do with your kids and how to do them, and give you specific details on like how to make your own Play-Doh or different fun finger paints and crafts that you can do. However, one thing that most of those resources don't really focus on is that the key thing is not what exactly you do with your kids creatively, but how you do it. Today, let's focus on 4 prerequisites that we need to have so that any of our creative efforts would actually help our kids grow creatively rather than just accomplishing something that we told them to accomplish. And the first prerequisite that I'm going to talk about is open mind. I've been taking my daughter to different libraries and different arts and crafts things for quite a few months now. And one thing that I've noticed is that so many parents are often worried about the outcome, worried about what is going to happen, like with this arts project. So I've heard moms say things like, oh, why is your grass orange? The grass has to be green, here's the green color, let's fix it. Or your caterpillar is too short. Okay, come on, let me help you fix this and let me help you make some balls to make it longer. Or something like, no, you can't do this. Let me show you how to do it. Or one of the most common ones, be careful, be careful. Those statements seems like nothing, right? And of course they come from moms who really love their kids and they just really want to help them grow and just excel to the best of their abilities. But simultaneously, they also don't let them actually do what they're here to do. Try to express themselves creatively and experiment with different new things. For example, orange grass, so what? It doesn't mean that your 2-year-old will grow up thinking that the grass is actually orange. It's no big deal, right? However, what the problem here is that we come into this creative process with the end result in mind. And when we have this end result in mind, it means that we will try to gently lead our child towards this result rather than allowing the creative process to happen. So instead of giving instructions and being specific or trying to actually show them to make sure that the result is good, try to come into those arts and crafts projects with this open mind and letting your child do whatever they want to do. If you have some kind of specific thing that you need to get done, for example, maybe you want to make an ornament for Christmas tree, or maybe you want to make some kind of gift for Father's Day or for grandma's for Mother's Day, just don't look at it as this creative endeavor you're doing with your child. It's just a project that you need to get done and they're there to help you, right? And because that's a little different type of activity rather than trying to be creative with your child. The second prerequisite that I'm going to talk about is process rather than result. Just as the state of uncertainty that I've been talking about in the first part can be challenging for many parents, it can be just as challenging to not expect some sort of end product. One thing that we don't understand though is that our kids have shorter attention spans than we do, and the smaller the child is, the shorter the attention span is, so it means that they can't focus on the same activity for an extended period of time. So let's say if right now you're making this beautiful butterfly and 2 minutes later a doggy ran by and he really got interested in the doggy, that's where his interest lies now, and he just can't come back to the butterfly. It's just not interesting to him anymore. So it's okay if your child just ends up with some kind of mess and there is no finished product. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean that they will grow up thinking that it's okay to not see things through to the end or anything like that. It's just a different age and it's completely normal. And the fact that your 4-year-old can't finish his arts project or doesn't finish the stories you've been reading to him doesn't mean that they will grow up into an irresponsible adult. The most important part here is to let them explore these new tools, new textures, and let them explore different ways of creativity and self-expression. So in this case, that's what we're trying to accomplish, not get to some kind of finished product every time we do it. Prerequisite that I'm going to talk about, number 3, is mess, and it's just as difficult as it sounds. If you focus on keeping things neat and tidy, if you focus on cleanliness, if you want to make sure that their clothes stay clean, creativity just won't happen, because we transmit certain energies and children are very, very receptive to them. And psychologically, we're just much more likely to act in specific ways. For example, we're much more likely to issue instructions like be careful and be cautious and don't go there and things like that. So they just won't feel comfortable. So instead of being anxious about the mess, instead of being worried about your child using up all the expensive colors that you bought or something like that, what you can do is getting ready to this creative process as best as you possibly can without putting a bumper on creativity. For example, you can go to Home Depot or Costco and get a big roll of plastic wrap and cover all your floors with that. Or you can use a big roll of paper towels instead or something like that. As for their clothes, you can find a designated piece of clothing that your child will always wear when they engage in those creative activities. That's what I did, for example, and that really helped me. Moreover, you can choose it and you just will never wash it, and will get some paint stains and stuff like that for this cool artsy look and feel. So in a way, it can even be fun. Or if it's summer and you can allow your child to create naked, or maybe you will just go outside and get artsy outdoors. Why not? And the last prerequisite, number 4, is play. Kids, especially I'm talking about children 2.5 and older, live to play. They learn through play, right? That's why we hear so much about play-based learning these days. And any activity that you need to get done will be accomplished much easier if you involve play in it. Same with arts and crafts. For example, my daughter and I were doing this little drawing thing. So I was drawing an elephant for her and she was like helping me with something. Instead of just switching now to drawing a giraffe when we were done, I thought about the book that we've been reading before bedtime called Goodnight Gorilla, where gorilla comes and frees all the animals, right? So I'm drawing a little gorilla right next to it and saying, look, Mr. Gorilla came to free up the elephant, and here are the keys, and here's Mr. Zookeeper, and I'm drawing the zookeeper here, and so here comes the night, it's nighttime now, so you're painting with the dark all over it, right? Things like that. Or I've made her this little piggy out of Play-Doh, and instead of just giving it to her, the piggy just went oink, 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 I'm looking for truffles, where are my truffles? And she was asking for the piggy for weeks after that. Basically, when play is involved, kids at this age are just much more likely to stay interested and engaged in most activities that you're trying to do with them, so just use it. As a summary, the 4 prerequisites to fun, creative play that we've talked about today include open mind, process, not end result, creative mess, and play. Let me know if these 4 prerequisites actually change the way that you engage with your children and you get creative with them. I would really appreciate your feedback. If you're interested in similar content in the future, please subscribe to my channel. Once again, my name is Nadia Stepinski and this is Zenful Mama. You can also subscribe to my Instagram blog, same handle as Zenful Mama as well. And make sure to share this video if you think that someone else might find it helpful. Have a great day.